For almost an hour, President Biden takes questions from the media about his policies, his candidacy, and his health. And Prince Harry addresses the controversy surrounding his selection as an award recipient at the ESPYS. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Friday, July 12th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. The eyes of the world were on President Joe Biden last night as he delivered an hour-long press conference, the first solo press conference of the year, meant to ease the growing concern in the Democratic Party about his candidacy, but led to further calls for him to drop out of the race. The president fielded questions from reporters, but it was a gaffe made by Biden earlier in the day at the NATO summit that was already on people's minds when he misspoke, introducing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin. And then near the top of the press conference, another gaffe, calling Kamala Harris Vice President Trump.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better. Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
The theme of most questions asked by reporters, whether Biden believes he is the best candidate to beat former President Donald Trump. Biden making it clear he's here to finish the job.
Is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again.
Another high-profile moment was when the president asked if he'd be willing to take another neurological exam.
And every single day, I'm surrounded by good docs. If they think there's a problem, I promise you, or even if they don't think it's a problem, they think I should have a neurological exam again, I'll do it. But no one's suggesting that to me now.
Reaction to the press conference was far and wide. More Democrats stepping forward asking the president to end his 2024 campaign, while Republicans, including the party frontrunner, seized on Biden's missteps on social media. Trump sarcastically saying, "Good job, Joe," in a post on Truth Social. While President Biden may have hoped his press conference last night would calm fears of his abilities among his party, 3 more Democratic lawmakers called for Biden to drop out of the race after the press conference ended, joining 13 other House members and 1 Senate Democrat. Congressman Jim Hines of Connecticut saying in a statement that he believes Biden is a remarkable leader but needs to step away from his presidential campaign. Congressman Scott Peters of California saying he is asking the president to withdraw, adding these stakes are high and the Democrats are on a losing course. And Congressman Eric Sorensen of Illinois saying he hopes the president will step aside for a candidate who will communicate a positive vision for every person in this country. Meanwhile, CBS News reports dozens of Democratic lawmakers are expected to issue statements calling for Biden to leave the race within the next 48 hours. Former President Donald Trump is seeking to have his recent criminal conviction in New York thrown out based on the Supreme Court's recent ruling on presidential immunity. Trump's lawyers argue some of the evidence and testimony used in the criminal trial should not have been allowed because they were related to official acts Trump made while president, which the Supreme Court ruled are protected from prosecution. Already, the Supreme Court's decision has delayed sentencing in that case. Originally set for yesterday, it's now been pushed back to September 18th to give the judge time to consider how the ruling impacts the outcome of the trial. Senator Chuck Schumer says Democrats are considering a bill that would classify some of Trump's actions that have landed him in legal troubles as unofficial acts, so that way he could still be prosecuted. A week-long heat wave has nearly 30 people dead and incinerated multiple temperature records in the West. And forecasters say it'll continue to bring dangerously high temperatures through tomorrow before moving to the central and eastern U.S. by Sunday. Millions of people across multiple states are under heat advisories, and the situation is especially bad in Texas, where thousands of people are still without power after Hurricane Beryl tore through on Monday, killing at least 10 people. More than 1 million power customers in southeast Texas, mainly between Galveston and north of Houston, are still without power. And officials say 500,000 Houston area homes and businesses may not have their power restored until next week. The outages have crippled infrastructure across the region, including hospitals and water treatment plants, leaving many without clean drinking water. Dollar General has agreed to pay a $12 million fine and improve working conditions at thousands of its stores across the country. The company reached a settlement with OSHA to resolve alleged violations, including unsafe storage, blocked emergency exits and fire extinguishers, and inaccessible electrical panels. Under the agreement, if inspectors find similar problems in the future, Dollar General could be fined up to $100,000 a day if they're not resolved within 48 hours. The terms of the deal also require Dollar General to significantly reduce inventory and improve stocking to prevent hazards, and hire more safety managers, as well as create a health and safety committee with employee participation. Finally this morning, the best in the world of sports were honored last night at ESPN's annual award show, the ESPYS. But going into the event, there was some controversy over ESPN's choice to receive the Pat Tillman Award for service. That recipient, Prince Harry, who was selected for his role in starting the Invictus Games for wounded military personnel and veterans, took a moment to respond to the controversy while delivering his acceptance speech.
I'd like to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to everyone at the Pat Tillman Foundation, led by Marie Tillman Shenton, who I'm so honored is here tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge the Tillman family, especially Mrs. Mary Tillman, Pat's mother. Her advocacy for Pat's legacy is deeply personal and one that I respect. The bond between a mother and son is eternal and transcends even the greatest losses.
In the days leading up to the ceremony, the mother of Pat Tillman, the former NFL player turned U.S. soldier who was killed in Afghanistan in 2004, criticized ESPN's selection, saying there were recipients far more fitting. During his speech, Harry said he is just a voice for the Invictus Games Foundation and the thousands of veterans and service members who have taken part in the games over the past 10 years, adding the award belongs to them. These are your top stories for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great weekend.